You have been taught to treat your brain like a machine. If you are not optimizing every second, you are failing. If your to-do list is not finished, the day was wasted. If you are resting, you are falling behind. But what if this obsession with maximum output is the exact reason you are burned out, anxious, and, ironically, less productive than you have ever been? This is not a video about working smarter. It is about why the entire framework you are using to measure your own productivity is built on a mistake that began over 200 years ago. Here is where it started. The Industrial Revolution did not just change how people worked, it changed how people thought about work. For the first time in human history, output became measurable by the hour. Factories ran on clock time. Workers were evaluated by units produced per shift. And that framework, output divided by time, became so dominant that we imported it wholesale into our own minds. We started treating ourselves like factories. Wake up, optimize, produce, repeat. The problem is that a factory does not have a nervous system. A factory does not have Ultradian rhythms. The natural 90 to 120-minute cycles of high focus and low focus that every human brain moves through automatically, all day, every day. A machine runs at the same output whether it has been running for 1 hour or 10. You do not. Chronobiologist Nathaniel Kleitman, the same researcher who discovered REM sleep, identified in the 1960s that the human brain operates in roughly 90-minute cycles of high cognitive function, followed by a natural dip. Not a weakness, not laziness, a biological imperative. Your brain is rhythmic, not linear. It was never designed to sustain peak output across an 8 or 10 or 12-hour workday. Trying to force it to do so does not make you more productive. It makes you cortisol dominant, decision fatigued, and cognitively depleted by early afternoon. Now here's where it gets genuinely interesting. The ancient Greeks had two completely separate words for time. The first was Chronos, sequential, measurable clock time, the time of calendars and schedules and productivity apps. The second was Kairos, the opportune moment, the right time, the time when conditions align and action becomes effortless and powerful. Modern productivity culture is obsessed entirely with Chronos, but the ancient Greeks understood that the most important work, the thinking, the creating, the deciding, does not happen on Chronos time. It happens in Kairos moments, when the brain is rested, ready, and in the right state. You cannot schedule Kairos, you can only create the conditions for it. Here is the one shift that changes everything. Stop optimizing for tasks completed. Start optimizing for cognitive bandwidth. Cognitive bandwidth is your brain's available capacity for high-quality thinking. It depletes with every decision, every context switch, every hour of sustained focus without recovery. And it replenishes, but only if you let it. The most consistently high-performing people across history were not the ones who worked the most hours. They were the ones who protected their cognitive bandwidth most ruthlessly. Darwin walked for 2 hours every day. Darwin, the man who developed the theory of evolution, took 2 hours out of every working day to do nothing but walk and think. Not because he was undisciplined, because he understood that the walk was the work. The next time you feel guilty for not finishing your list, stop. Ask yourself one question. Am I optimizing for output, or am I optimizing for the quality of the mind doing the work? Because a depleted mind finishing a to-do list is not productivity, it is just motion. If you are tired of the hustle narrative and want to understand the hidden forces behind how humans actually think, decide, and perform, subscribe to EpochMind and tell me in the comments, when was the last time you felt truly, deeply at peace with your work? Not finished, not optimized, at peace. I want to know.